Hi, Ghosties. I'm Macie.
And I'm Natalie.
And that's Petey.
He's back. He's decided he would like to be employed again, so he's back to collect his check.
Welcome back, Petey. Hello. Last summer, in episode 133, Listener Stories 53, Kharma wrote to us telling us about a chilling experience they had in the summer of 2020. They had seen what they described as a crawler. Quote, "My friends and I were on our way home from McDonald's super late at night, and we saw a creature on the side of the road. It was very visibly malnourished, as you could see its ribs. The arms and legs were much longer than should be physically possible for any humanoid creature. The skin was gray in color, and it was hunched down beside a telephone pole. When I saw it, I hit the brakes and flipped my brights on to get a better look. It looked up at us, and then I can only assume that it climbed the telephone pole because it happened at the speed of light. It basically just zipped into the sky, and we didn't look upwards to find it because we just wanted to get to one of our friends' homes, which was only about 500 feet from where we had seen the creature. I talked to some people in town about my experience and was told 2 stories about a creature, identical description to what I saw on the side of the road, both stories happening within half a mile of where I saw it, but over the span of the last 15 years before my encounter. I did some research on Reddit and found out that crawlers are believed to stay in old cave systems. My town used to be a mine town, so there are tons of abandoned mines in the area. And what are mines if not man-made cave systems? So I checked out a map of the old mines, and there was a mine dump right near where my encounter and the other 2 encounters with the crawlers happened. Since that time, I've been fascinated by these beings and have had this topic on my list of episodes, like literally since I think it was last summer.
Yeah, this was like episode or listener 53, you said?
Yeah.
So and we're almost at 100.
Yes.
So that's wild.
It's been a long time. I initially believed that crawlers were concentrated around the Appalachia area, hence their place here in Appalachia April. And they absolutely sound like something that belongs in the woods. But doing my research, I found that they go far beyond those mountains. They have been seen all over North America, and I have several stories for you today that will no doubt give you that same sense of unease as the rest of our topics have this month. So I guess for this one, it turns out to not be totally Appalachia based, but about something that does reside here and gives off that same vibe.
I mean, some of them were spotted around the area, so yes. I think it counts. Yes. Also, Petey decided he was clocking out. He worked his 2 minutes and he was done.
He said, crawlers, no thank you.
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about today. But our tea is from Muddy River Conjure. It's chamomile passion berry, sent by one of you. It smells good. I'm very excited about this. I do like chamomile tea.
I don't know. Have I? Well, obviously, if I've ever tried it, it was on the pod. I don't remember.
We may or may not. I don't remember.
I kind of think no, but I could be wrong.
But it does have peppermint, and we are not a big peppermint people.
But it doesn't smell very pepperminty, so no. I'm excited to try it.
I think it's going to be good.
All right, well, let's go.
It's minty, but it's not too strong, and I think it's a really well-balanced tea.
It feels like it brought me back to life. Like it was a surge of like, wake up, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Chamomile's like a calming tea.
Oh, well, never mind. I guess the mintiness of it just kind of, I was like,
it's like a shock to your system.
That's mint. Yeah. Dang. Well, it's not bad, and it's good. If you like peppermint teas, this is probably my favorite one that we've tried with a peppermint flavor in there. I think so.
This one, there was another one. There was a spearmint one that we had that I really liked. I can't remember what it was.
I think, and as I was putting my mug down, I was thinking the same thing because we both said like spearmint over peppermint.
Yeah.
Interesting. What's the difference? Is there a difference?
Not a clue. But this one has peppermint and spearmint in it.
Maybe
I read that on there.
Maybe that's the difference.
It was tasty. Long story short.
Yes. So thank you.
So while looking for details on this creature, I found that most stories didn't really start popping up until people on forums like 4chan and Reddit began telling their stories of this strange and unusual thing. But there have been a handful of encounters with these gaunt humanoids throughout time and passed down for generations, particularly in more rural and wooded areas throughout North America, like the Fresno Nightcrawler, which is essentially a walking white pair of pants. Very strange. Look up a picture. We'll put one here. It's very weird. It's unusual.
Interesting.
And then the Dover Demon. which I hadn't heard of before now. On April 21st, 1977, 17-year-old Bill Bartlett and his friends Mike Mazacca and Andy Brody were driving through Dover, Massachusetts at about 10:30 at night. They were headed north on Farm Street when Bartlett, who was driving, spotted something out his window. On the left side of the road sat a low stone wall, and on top of those stones was what he believed, at first, was somebody's pet. As his headlights hit the area that the creature was crawling along the side of the road, he realized it wasn't a dog or a cat or any animal he had ever seen before. It turned its head to face Bartlett, who first saw its glowing eyes, a bright orange color reflecting from his headlights. It had a large, oval-shaped head with no ears or nose or mouth that he could see, and a long, sickly, thin body.
Oh.
It almost looked like a human, crawling on all fours, but its arms and legs were much longer than they should be, and its skin was completely hairless and very pale, white or peachy in color. He described it as looking like wet sandpaper, just it was the texture of its skin. It was 3.5 to 4 feet tall, creeping on the wall, its fingers abnormally long, gripping the rocks as the car passed by. Bartlett sped up, frightened, and asking his friends if they saw it too. He said he took the next corner at about 45 miles per hour, which I think is like recommended 15.
That's crazy.
And he described it to his passengers. Neither of them had seen it, but they begged him to turn around so that they could get another look.
What?
He refused at first, quote, "When you see something like that, you don't want to stand around and see what it's going to do," unquote. But they finally convinced him to turn around. When they got back out there, his friends called out for the creature, but they found nothing. It had already moved on. He dropped his friends off at home and went straight home, telling his father about what he had seen and sketching the image with a declaration at the bottom, quote, "I, Bill Bartlett, swear on a stack of Bibles that I saw this creature." Around midnight that same night, another teen, 15-year-old John Baxter, was walking home from his girlfriend's house near the very same road. He claimed as he made his way near a wooded area, he saw someone approaching him in the distance. He thought it was his friend who lived nearby at first, but when he called out, there was no answer. He continues walking, but soon stops, calling out to whoever it was to tell him who they were. Still not getting any answers, he took one more step forward, towards the being, when it scurried off to the side, running into the woods. Baxter followed the creature, where he found it standing on top of a rock, its feet, quote, molded to the top. He claimed it reminded him of a monkey of some kind, but its head was in the shape of a figure 8. They stood there, staring at each other for a moment, Baxter not entirely sure what he was looking at, but steadily growing very uneasy. He eventually backed out of the woods and walked home swiftly. He didn't want to turn his back to it. He kept an eye on it as he backed out.
Yeah. Is it like an alien?
Some people say it could be, and I think there was a UFO sighting a few days prior to this, but it's who knows.
Yeah, but you said like head like a figure 8, so I was like picturing like elongated, and
it kind of does resemble
oval.
a gray. Yeah,
Huh.
but some of the other sightings of crawlers do too. They just kind of have like a bigger head, but they're not all exactly like this.
Okay.
There was one other supposed sighting by another couple of teens the next night who saw it briefly while driving down the road, but that was it. No one had seen it again, and it remains a mystery to this day. In an interview nearly 30 years later, Bartlett still stands by his claims. This was in 2006, I think.
Oh, wow.
He doesn't know what it was, but he knows he saw something that he wishes he hadn't. Police chief at the time, Carl Sheridan, claimed, quote, "The only thing that worries me is the story of Bill Bartlett," talking about the entirety of the sightings. He described Bill as an outstanding artist and reliable witness, and didn't believe he'd make something like this up for attention. Quote, "I wasn't trying to be funny. People who know me know I didn't make this up," Bartlett said. "It was a little embarrassing. It still is. I don't usually tell anybody. I shouldn't be embarrassed, but you see these people on TV and they're made to look like idiots. I really do wish that I had made it up. I might have profited from it. It's a great story. I wish it was seen again so everyone would know it was true," unquote.
That's so interesting, because how many people do you think have come across something like that, or, just something paranormal or weird in general, and have just taken it to the grave because they're like, oh, these people are going to think I'm out of my mind?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I feel like that day to day, and I'm not telling people I've seen these things. We're just reacting to them and talking about it. And I'm like, wow, sometimes when we're done, I'm like, what did we just do? What did we just talk about? Because it sounds...
You even tell me that.
Because some of it sounds so crazy that I'm like, if I take a step back and I take myself out of like the, oh, we believe it all, I'm like, to a person that is like very skeptical and thinks all this is nonsense, we sound insane. So there are probably so many people out there that have seen
Something like
wild
this.
things and they just said, no, I
Yeah.
didn't see it. No one will believe me. I'm crazy.
You know what? And I think I would end up being like Minnie and was it Will Winston from the Bloody House?
Oh yeah,
Where
be like,
they
it never
eventually,
happened.
like, I'd tell my people, and then once it got out, I'd be like, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, be like,
Because
it's all made up.
it would just be so outlandish, especially seeing something that only a handful of teenagers saw.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
you know you saw it, but there's zero explanation that you can give.
That's horrifying.
Well, many people today believe that what these teenagers saw was a pale crawler, or at least a version of a crawler. Stories that have come to light ever since then describe seeing something very similar. A large humanoid creature that looks like a person at first glance, but something just isn't right about it. They are usually described as extremely pale, with very hollow, sunken eyes that glow if light is shined on them sometimes. Their arms and legs are extremely long, as if they've been stretched down, and they
Ooh.
usually look emaciated, like an animal that hasn't had food or like enough food in a very long time. Their skin is sometimes described as so white they are nearly translucent and can even appear to have a wet sheen to it in the moonlight. And they just look kind
Ew.
of moist.
Ugh.
Sorry.
Trigger warning. Moist.
They described it as anywhere from 3 to 7 feet tall, though most stories I've read say that they're on the taller side. They crawl on all fours, but can stand on 2 feet, just like people do.
No.
Now, if the Dover demon was a crawler, I don't know why. I just get the vibe like it was a baby crawler, like it was a child of some kind.
Oh, interesting.
Because it was so much smaller. It was only like 3.5 feet tall,
Yeah.
and it was out and about and just kind of curiously wandering around.
Yeah. I'd much rather encounter a scary thing that is only a couple feet tall than like a 10-foot tall, horrifying, traipsing through the woods person thing guy, you know?
Person thing guy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I agree. Would not like to come across a person thing guy either.
No, me neither. Never.
So crawlers move at quick speeds, are usually very silent, and have been described as intelligent and calculating.
Ooh.
You don't usually hear it moving, aside from the crunch of leaves as it makes its way between the trees. They are thought to be nocturnal because sightings of these beings occur at night. They are described differently depending on what region they're spotted in, but they are typically described like the pale crawler or something very similar to this. They all kind of had the same vibe.
Okay.
The Appalachian crawler is known to inhabit the more heavily forested areas of the region, living amongst the other unusual creatures that are known to haunt the hollers. It's here where sightings seem to be concentrated around cave systems and old mining tunnels.
Oh, no.
And some people think that the number of disappearances in areas with caves might be connected to crawlers. So,
I knew you were going to say it.
you told me this, like the two maps together, they overlap drastically. And if you can find a photo, put it up because it is crazy. And I did see on Reddit, like if you Reddit posts, people were talking about it and how they correlate and how they believe it has something to do with crawlers.
Oh, it's horrible. I didn't think it had something to do with crawlers. I was thinking much more like
True crime.
bad people have gained access to the cave systems or created the cave systems, and that's where they like snatch people.
Yeah.
But the crawler theory is maybe equally as terrifying.
Yeah, well, this theory describes crawlers as a cave-dwelling species. Like this is where they live. That's their home.
Yeah.
And that's why we don't see them about. They just come out every once in a while to hunt, I guess, if that's your theory. Just like the monsters in the movie The Descent.
I didn't want to say it again.
Yes.
We are the PR team for The Descent.
We talk about, like, literally one of our first episodes, we started talking about The Descent.
Clearly that was very formative. Like the exorcism of Emily Rose, you know?
Yeah, it's on our list.
Yeah. Ugh.
They have evolved to live in darkness and feed on whatever else lives in those caves or the people and animals brave enough to venture inside. There are stories all over the U.S., not just in Appalachia, that place crawler-like creatures near caves, pulling people towards them and trying to drag them inside. Now, did I read it on here or did I read it on my own? A story of a person near Mount Shasta. They were camping and there was like a mimic of their grandma and took him to a cave. Was that here or was that on my own time?
What ended up happening?
They were a child. They went to the cave and they kept asking a bunch of questions and eventually the grandma mimic kicked it out.
It was here.
Okay.
Yes. Oh my God. I don't remember what happened, but it was very scary.
So that's exactly what I was thinking here.
Does anybody remember what story that was? Can we try to find it?
Let us know. I'll
Oh my
look,
gosh.
and if you know what episode I'm talking about, let me know.
It's horrible.
But there are some who claim that the fleshgate is a type of crawler that lurks through the woods. We covered fleshgates in our mimics episode 15, if you're interested. And if you listened to that one, then you know they are able to shapeshift and mimic people or animals that they have come across in the woods. And so that's what I think, like maybe there is a version, a cryptid creature thing of crawlers that can shapeshift and mimic.
Oh,
And they are like
no.
the fleshgate that just, they're all like a version of, the same thing.
Yeah, that's a very unsettling thought.
Last year, there was a huge resurgence in stories of crawlers after a YouTube channel called Carolina Case Files published a video telling the mysterious story behind a terrifying, and I mean terrifying, 911 call.
Oh, no.
If you're on the same side of the internet as we are, then you may have heard it. You've probably heard it.
I don't know.
If you didn't send it to me, I sent it to you, definitely. And maybe you're like me and thought, at first, that it was some kind of hoax put together by someone wanting to creep people out. But I was very wrong because this is a real 911 call placed in July of 2021.
Oh, no.
Now, we can link the Carolina Case Files video below if you'd like to listen to the whole thing, and I recommend you do because it is horrifying. I will play it for you in a minute. But it starts with a young man who we later learn is named Tyler over several interviews. He's driving through Pender County, North Carolina at around 11 p.m. It's pitch black as he makes his way down very rural back country roads surrounded by woods and parks between pockets of tiny towns, small neighborhoods, and gas stations. The only light really along this road are the bits of gas stations and convenience stores along the way. He was heading home from his school in Florida when he comes across something concerning off the side near Moores Creek National Battlefield. He was driving at about 55 miles per hour down the road with his windows down when he noticed a man standing on the side of the road. He said he looked to be about 30 years old, and in the fleeting glance he had of him, it looked as though he had a large head wound that was bleeding all down the front of his clothes.
Oh, no.
He said the man had old Civil War type clothes on, though he couldn't be totally sure because it was very quick, and was just staring at him in his car blankly as he passed by. Tyler spent 9 months in the Army before being discharged for a serious injury prior to this, and he claimed that from his experience, he just knew something was not right with the guy. He was very injured.
Mm-hmm.
He believed that he had some kind of damage from the head trauma, and he wanted to make sure that he got the help he needed, if he needed it. So he rolled up his window and made the call to 911. He's explaining to the dispatcher where he is and where they could find the man, telling her he had just crossed the Black River and was surrounded by trees on all sides, and they're going back and forth, getting clarification on where to send an officer. When over the phone, you can hear a loud thud. It's extremely loud. And in the interview with Carolina Case Files, he says that he had his phone set up in a stand that muffled the sound usually. So it was hard to hear. So it was just so loud. Yes. Tyler felt his whole truck dip down. He said like it does when you're carrying a large trailer and you hit a pothole, like the whole bed of the truck just bounced. He exclaimed loudly. You could hear him like, "What the?" And then he turns around, looking to see if an animal landed on his truck somehow or something, when you hear him on the call shouting into the phone. With extreme fear in his voice, he tells the operator, "That's not human. That's not human." And he screams it.
And this is real?
This is real. 100% real. He screams. It's like, "That's not human!" He's loud. You can hear him scared.
Okay.
Behind him, in the bed of his truck, he saw a snow-white face pressed up against his back window, as if attempting to look inside. Tyler turned on the bed light and saw that it had shallow, sunken eyes, no nose, and its skin looked stretched thin over its body. He didn't even realize he had screamed about it not being human until he listened to the tape later. He said when he listened back, he's like, "I don't even remember saying that. I was just in straight fear mode."
Mm-hmm.
He was scared out of his mind as the operator asked him if he was okay, because the operator's like, "Excuse me,
hello?
What's going on?"
Which, side note, I hate listening to 911 calls because I know that they're supposed to just be calm, get the information. But when something crazy is going on and someone's sobbing, crying, freaking out, and they're like, "Ma'am,
I need you to calm down and give me the information."
Ma'am. I'm like, I could never be an operator because I'd be like, "Oh my God, no way, are you okay?"
I know.
I could not just remain calm.
They're just trying to get them emergency services as fast as possible, and I get it, but it makes me so sad.
Out.
Well, he was scared out of his mind as the operator asked him if he was okay. You can hear the truck accelerate as he picks up speed down the road. You can hear the engine rev. Yes, he screams out again, "There's something in the bed of my truck!" Just screaming. You can hear his panic.
Tuck and roll.
The operator, obviously confused, asks him what he means. Is it an animal or something? And over the phone, you can hear another thud as he slams on his brakes, throwing it off over the top of his cab and then speeding away around the creature. He tells the operator that he knocked it off of the bed and over his roof and is now driving as far away as he can to get away from it. He watched as its very long, scrawny body rolled down his windshield and landed in the middle of the road in front of him. And as he drove by it, he claimed that it stood up on 2 feet, easily 7 feet tall, and bolted into the woods off to the left. He told Carolina Case Files that it looked like a human that had been stretched out, starting with the limbs.
Oh my God.
Over the call with 911, he's trying to explain to the operator that it wasn't an animal. She's like, maybe was it a turkey? Like, turkeys are very big. And he was like, it has no feathers. I've seen turkeys before, ma'am.
Oh my gosh.
He didn't think it was possible for an animal to jump in the back of his truck while moving as fast as he was either. Quote, I have no idea what the hell that was. It just scared the absolute hell out of me, and I just knocked it off my truck when I slammed on the brakes. It went over the roof of my truck and onto my hood, and then hit the road before I took off again. I'm shaking. It looked pale, almost, unquote. The caller refused to stop and pull off to the side of the road for quite some time until he came across a well-lit gas station. The operator was like, can you pull over?
No.
Pull off to this gas
Never
station
again.
you see. He was looking in his rearview mirror every so often to make sure that whatever it was wasn't following him.
I would turn into, in Forrest Gump when he just keeps running and like people bring him stuff and food and things. Like people would have to bring me gas. Like I just kept on driving. I would never.
Like planes who have to fuel midair. You
Yes.
just like ride beside me.
And I'm driving forever. I would never feel safe stopping again.
No, I feel you. That would be so
God.
scary. Eventually, a Pender County Sheriff's officer made it down to the scene where they had to convince Tyler to come back with them to the scene so that he could show them where it was. Because at first he said,
no,
I'm
you're
not
working
going.
with him. You're
Eventually,
working with it.
like a cop had to get in the car with him and go down because he said, I'm not going back.
Mm-mm.
A report was taken. So there is an official CAD
Police report
of this. Yes. And troopers took over the investigation. They didn't find the creature or the bloodied man, though there were large scratches on the top of his truck where the creature hit it and landed in the back. So Tyler believes that it must have landed down in and grabbed onto the truck to steady itself, or it was scratching to get in because there were long scrapes across the top of the cab.
Okay.
Drones with thermal capabilities were flown out by Parks and Wildlife, and EMS looked the caller over to make sure that he was all right before sending him on his way back towards his destination. Sheriff Cutler of the Pender County Sheriff's Office claimed in a later interview that the call really bothered him the first time that he heard it. And it's true, it's hard not to get that uneasy feeling in the pit of your stomach when you hear just the absolute terror in his voice. To this day, the call hasn't been explained, and nobody knows what exactly was seen out on that old back road. Tyler still has nightmares about that night, and he refuses to drive near that area at night. He lost the phone that had photos of the scratches on his truck while on a fishing trip, but insists that it all happened. Just like Bill Bartlett with the Dover Devil, he wishes that it hadn't.
I am deeply unsettled by this.
I know. I think you've probably heard it.
I think you telling me this, I think I have.
You've heard it before. It's just the fear in his voice is so. That's what really got me.
Yeah, he does sound actually terrified.
Yes. And when you watch the interview with him, he's just a normal dude. He grew up in Texas. He went to the army. He went to a mechanic trade school. He's just a regular guy living his regular life. And he said nothing like that has ever happened to him before.
That's so horrifying. I don't think I would ever get in a car by myself again.
He said he was really scared because he didn't have his gun
Oh my
him,
gosh.
so he felt vulnerable,
How else do you fight something off like that?
And he has nightmares. He said today because he has
Aw.
a baby and a wife now, and he
Yeah.
says his nightmares consist usually it's him alone, but lately since he has his family, he'll dream that his family's in the car with him, and his child's taken out the back of the car by it.
That is, I would have to, someone hypnotize me. It would have to, memory would need to be extracted out of my brain.
Yeah,
That's horrifying.
it's really, really scary. Most encounters with crawlers happen just like the experiences with Bill and Tyler. They are spotted in and around extremely wooded areas like Appalachia and leave a lasting impression on those who witness it. Some claim to have been stalked through the woods by one, but whether it's out of curiosity or hunger is anyone's guess. Some have claimed that they make sounds like animals or people, but just a little bit off. Screams and shrieks and chittering through the woods when all other animal sounds have ceased. They are said to move through the forests in a very calculated manner, and some even feel the intense feeling of danger, as with any other large predator. There is a primal fear felt by people who see them at night, and I don't blame them. We don't know what they are exactly, but people do have theories. There are some who say they are like humans but have evolved to live underground. Others say they are more animal and have descended from a type of monkey that used to live in North America. In the book Crawlers, a Conclusive Casebook by Nathaniel Brislin, which was suggested to us by Kharma from
Wow.
that first story, spoke to an anonymous zoologist about the sightings to get a more scientific opinion behind the phenomenon. Quote, some found a correlation between the presence of caves and crawler sightings. I find this particularly interesting since crawlers seem to present most of the characters that evolve in cave species, namely loss of skin pigmentation, elongation of the limbs, reduction, loss of the eyes, slow metabolism due to the lack of food, which agrees with the reported emaciated body, and nocturnal foraging behavior. From the description, it seems that crawlers are bipedal humanoids, so we can assume that this animal would probably be a primate. Except for humans, there are no apes in America as they evolved separately in the Old World, so crawlers would be members of the Platyrini? So sorry, I don't know. A group comprising all the currently extant American monkeys. Monkeys are now absent from North America, but they used to live there until the end of the Eocene epoch, about 33 million years ago, when climate changes led them to disappear from there and become restricted to tropical areas. Maybe some individuals found refuge or were trapped in cave systems around this time and evolved to become the crawlers. Caves are indeed known to serve as a place of refuge for animal groups that disappeared from the surface. To date, the only vertebrates to have been found living in caves are some fish and a few amphibians. If the existence of a cave-dwelling primate in North America was proven to be true, it would be a huge breakthrough. 1, as the first known cave mammal ever, and 2, as the only known primate in North America. Now imagine a hairless and tailless spider monkey. Wouldn't it make a convincing crawler? Anonymous zoologist.
Oh my god. That it makes it, I guess, a little bit less frightening, but
Not if they're dragging people into caves.
yeah, exactly. Like if it's just some animal that has evolved, okay, but why are they violently attacking?
A predator that can see in the night easily.
Oh god. Yeah.
Over time, we have received a few stories from our listeners who have had their own encounters with crawlers, so I'd like to leave you with a few of those.
Oh no.
And one of them does have a video,
Oh god. Okay.
and it's really scary.
Okay, I'm not ready, but I'm ready.
Our first story is from Adele. Hi, Macie and Natalie. My name is Adele. I'm 23 years old, and I am writing all the way from Sweden.
Ooh.
Which I found this interesting because the Appalachian Mountains, I told you, go through the Scottish Highlands,
Mhm.
like the old ancient mountains,
Mhm.
and on into Norway and Sweden. So, like, the
Hmm.
parts of the mountain ranges in Norway and Sweden are also old Appalachia.
Very interesting. Also, Zara Larson.
Is Swedish?
Yes.
Okay. I found a lot of comfort in your podcast.
Sorry. It's just what came to my mind.
That's nice. Shout out Zara Larson. I found a lot of comfort in your podcast these past few months since I found it. I moved last year from my hometown to start university, and listening to your podcast reminds me of my older sister and I. Both of us have always loved the paranormal and spooky things, and we've connected through that. So you guys remind me of us. It helps when I'm homesick. That's very sweet. I'm so glad that we could help with that. I'm writing, though, because I listened to the episode Ouija Boards, Cults, and Mimics a few days ago while cleaning my apartment. In the episode, there is a listener story that mentions a cryptid called a crawler. Honestly, I had never heard of this one before, but it sounded so similar to an experience I've had, so I have to tell my own story. This took place around November through December of 2019, and it was something that both my sister and I witnessed, so I know I'm not crazy or made it up in my head. For some background information, we grew up on an island here in Sweden and lived here during this time. It is a big island, and this happened close to my dad's house, who has his own paranormal stories. That day, we were outside taking a walk. My dad lived on the countryside of the island, and it wasn't unusual for us to take walks to the island center where the grocery store was located. I was 17 at the time, my sister was 19. I remember that the first snow of the year had fallen. The day was bright and sparkling from the snow, although the sky was gray. This made it easy to see how things stood out against the snow. We were coming back from where the store was, and were walking on the road up to my dad's house. His house is surrounded by the woods, but also on both sides of the road there are fields where they grow crops. while we were walking towards the house, we saw something on the field to the left of us. It was about 100 meters away from us. The contrast against the snow was susceptible. It was digging in the ground for something, which made it impossible for us to see the head clearly, but what we could see was this. A long, slender, grayish body. I remember the color of gray because the snow made it stand out. It stood on all fours, the four legs long and weirdly shaped. It kind of looked like a human, but at the same time, it didn't. It did not look like an animal. It did not have any antlers, and the body was lower to the ground, like if it stood up on its hind legs, it would be tall. The skin was not fur. It was just skin. It couldn't be a wolf. Those aren't common in this part of Sweden. It did not look like a dog from how the legs were positioned. It kept digging, not looking up, which was probably best for us. Although I kind of wish I could have seen the face to get a better idea of what it was. This terrified us. We both tried ignoring it and walked faster to get home. We had this telepathic terror. We did not need to speak a word to know that we should just get out of there. Looking back, making sure we weren't being followed, it was still where it had been. It hadn't seen us. After that, we haven't seen it again, but I hate walking in that area, especially in the woods. I always get a bad feeling, and I feel like something is watching me. I remember from the episode it mentioned that crawlers are connected to old mine shafts or caves. I tried to look around if the island had some kind of old mine shafts or caves, but I could not find anything. The closest mine shafts to us are about 20 minutes away in another town on the mainland. I don't know if it is considered too far away. I don't know a lot of the history about the area I grew up in, but there are Viking grave sites close to us. There used to be an old barn where my dad's house is, and the woods behind the house, there's an abandoned house. We used to explore it as kids. There's a big hole in the floor. Our parents always hated that we went there. We've also found lots of bones in the forest behind the house. I also need to mention that after this encounter, we started hearing something crawl on the roof of my dad's house. There were usually squirrels on the roof, but this sounded much heavier. It happened from time to time, usually at night. I don't live there anymore, thankfully, but I am still conflicted about this sighting. The thing is that nobody believes us when we tell them this, but we were two people that saw this thing. Surely it must be real. Anyways, thank you if you read my story. Keep up the podcast. It's great. And I hope you have a great day, Adele.
Well, can they swim?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, there are like water systems and stuff underground.
Yeah.
Water system, is that even a thing?
I don't know, but they mentioned like 20 miles or so away, right?
Yeah.
Like the mainland.
Off of the island.
Huh. I don't know what to make of that. But
Unless there are like deep caves underground somehow that connect the island and the mainland.
Could be,
but who knows? Or it hitched a ride on a boat.
I was going to say that too, but no, someone would have noticed it, surely.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's weird that it didn't notice them, because you know, if something is, I'm keeping it in, I don't care. If something is like a cave dweller.
What a day.
Thank you so much. This has been a great episode. We'll see you all next week. No, if something is cave dwelling,
yes,
it has heightened senses, right? Like specifically like eyesight, or I mean, not eyesight. It has like hearing.
Yes.
So it would have heard them walking in the snow, right?
Unless it was just so hungry, it was digging for like a missed crop. Whatever was growing out there, like maybe it was missed in harvest season.
Or it was trying to find its way back. Maybe it got separated or like lost its way, like all that snow came down and it's like
underground is where I belong.
I don't know where my hole is, where I came up from, you know? Something like
that's
that.
Sad and
or the ground is too hard and it's trying to get there because you know it's frozen.
Yeah.
And so it's just like I don't even care at this point. I just need to get where I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not used to like the snow, so it was like whatever. Don't even care about these people walking by.
That's really scary.
I don't know, not me trying to humanize it and be like, it was just trying to get home.
It has
I don't
feelings,
know. I'm scared. That's horrifying.
I'm just like, it's hungry.
Yeah. It's after your flesh. No.
And
I
seeing
can't believe
with your sister.
And the reaction that they had, just like walking, just like, okay, keep going. Very, very us. I feel like we would have just been like, okay.
I think so too.
Anyway. Yeah.
Our next story is unsigned. I live in Southwest Florida. When this happened, I lived in a part of town that was basically in the middle of nowhere. At the time, it was underdeveloped and had fields everywhere. There were 2 large fields next to my backyard. It was nighttime, and I took my dog out. He is now in doggy heaven, R.I.P. Sarge. We had him a long time. He was very protective. Our yard was fenced in, and I let him run around while I played on my phone. Suddenly, everything got extremely quiet. And then my dog barked like he was about to kill something or someone. It was a type of bark I'd never heard from him before. I looked up thinking maybe a creepy man was approaching. Nope. It was a crawler. It was on all fours with black eyes and stark white skin, so white it looked like it glowed under the moonlight. When I looked up, I could tell it was as startled to see me as I was to see it. Then my dog saw it look at me and acted like he was about to jump over the fence, which he could if he wanted to. I think the crawler knew that because it bolted inhumanly fast. It went behind a bush and then disappeared. I immediately told my mom when I went inside, but she said there was no bush there. Now I think a lot of cryptids are interdimensional, especially crawlers. I will never forget that night. I was completely sober and not even in the part of my life where I touched drugs or alcohol. I will die on the hill that I saw a crawler. Honestly, I'm happy it was a crawler and not a man. People with bad intentions are much scarier, in my opinion. I'll attach a picture of my dog Sarge as a palate cleanser.
Aw. Okay, I agree, though. I agree. I think I would rather run into something.
Inhuman than human?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe so.
Instead of a human that is out to cause me harm specifically.
Yes.
Because that is horrifying. Let me see the dog.
Bring me the child.
Bring me Sarge. It's going to make me sad, but. Aww.
I love him.
The little eyes.
I love him.
He's really cute. R.I.P. Sarge.
R.I.P. Sarge.
Good boy.
He's a good boy. I just know it. I like the idea of it being interdimensional, though.
That is interesting.
It's just something that doesn't usually live on this plane of existence, you know?
I never thought about, like, cryptids and things like that being that. Because, we always say, like, a time slip with, like, a ghost of a person.
Yeah.
Never thought about it that way.
A lot of people believe that cryptids are interdimensional. And that's why we can't find Bigfoot. Is because he, like, slips in and out. Like, when he's sighted, it's just an accident.
That's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. I need to sit with that for a minute.
Okay. Let us know next time.
Okay.
Our next story comes with a video. It's very, very spooky. This is from Dom.
Okay, everybody lock in. I'm feeling sick already.
Hi there, Ghosties. I'm a very recent subscriber and absolutely love your videos. This kind of spooky stuff is absolutely my cup of tea. Pun totally intended. My name is Dom, and I run the Keenan Key YouTube channel and the Dom Keenan TikTok channel. I'm one of those people that love making videos covering instances of the paranormal and cryptids if I can find them. I do other types of content as well, like food and comedy and whatnot, but that's besides the point currently. When it comes to the paranormal, like you, I ask my viewers to send in to me anything they think is paranormal that they may have run into and recorded. And one of my viewers did just that. Their cousin is the one who had this experience, but their cousin gave him permission to use the video, and I was then given permission to share the video. But I do leave this person and everyone as anonymous since this was their wish. They live on a reservation in Arizona. It's nighttime, basically pitch black, and all they have is a flashlight. Soon they come across a dirty-looking pond or creek. Sitting right in the middle of this pond is what appears to be a weird, pale, lanky, possibly naked, scary-looking figure submerged up to its shoulders. This pale thing stands up, has a weird complexion and some terribly weird-looking legs. It turns to face the group of friends and then immediately seems to charge at the group. This, of course, frightens the group of friends, and they began running away the second it seemed like it was heading towards them. They all got away, unharmed. I believe they got into a vehicle and left this thing in the dust. I do have the video that my viewer sent me. Unfortunately, there is no sound. Also is included the video I made about the clip. We'll go ahead and play both. In which I say what I think the thing is. I suspected it to be a pale crawler, while the viewer and his family seemed to suspect the thing was a skinwalker. Though they never used the term, but what was described to me certainly seemed to be an SW. I mean, heck, I also suspect it could just be a very scary person. I just don't know what they could be doing bathing in dirty, nasty-looking water.
And charging at people.
And charging
I'm not
people.
even questioning the bathing. Sometimes things happen, but charging at the people? Horrifying.
Yeah. There do be some weird people out there, so you never know. The clip the viewer sent me is very short, but very freaky in my opinion. I'm also sending you the video I made, and they gave us permission to share that, so we'll go ahead and do that.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, do you want to see his video and his explanation, or the regular video
just
first?
The video first.
Okay. You are not ready for this, I'm telling you right now.
No, I'm not.
This will haunt your dreams.
Oh, God. Okay, everybody ready?
Okay, you see it sitting there? And they're shining their flashlight on it. You see it? But wait for it. You realize it's being watched? Look at it.
God.
Its legs and arms look so long.
No, that can't be real. That can't be real. No. No. No.
The way they took off running, though?
No. I refuse.
And we'll play Dom's video real quick.
It was so tall.
So lanky and weird and just like the pale crawler.
New footage of what appears to be a lanky humanoid creature taking a dirt water bath was sent to me by a viewer. Their name shall remain anonymous, but I can disclose where this was filmed at, which it was filmed at the San Carlos Reservation in Arizona, which for many will bring the word skinwalker to the forefront of the mind, but I, however, think this thing looks remarkably similar to a crawler. This thing visibly has long, unnatural-looking arms, and in this shot here, a very strange-looking leg. Overall, a very crawler-like appearance. Normally, I would inform you of the general consensus, the internet's general opinion on what this creature is, but I believe I'm the first person to be releasing this footage, so there's no general consensus or no general opinion to be found right now. All I can offer is my personal opinion or theory, and what the person who sent this footage to me thinks. Ultimately, the person that sent me this footage, what they think about this thing, is they don't really know, which is understandable, but they have some suspicions, and their family has some suspicions, and I was talking to them about this, and basically it all kind of culminated into, it sounded like they were talking about skinwalkers. Now, they never used the word skinwalker to me at all, which I totally understand. They probably didn't even want to use the word, but they brought up Navajo individuals shape-shifting and using witchcraft, and in my head I'm like, oh, that's... So if we're dealing with something genuinely paranormal here, skinwalker is a fantastic theory, actually, especially considering with where this footage was filmed at. So, what do I think? Well, I do think, as I said in the beginning of this video, it looks remarkably similar to what a crawler looks like. Its arms are super long and weird, it's got a lanky figure, the texture of its skin is weird, and just the location of where it's standing, just in some dirty, mucky water. Very strange, very crawler-like, but can't be sure. I have no idea. All we have is the footage that we were provided. That's all they saw. The people that filmed that, they got out of Dodge. They just got out of there. Once that thing started looking like it was going to be going towards them, they got out of there. I don't blame them whatsoever. I would have got out of there too.
See, at first, I did think it was a person. It did
No.
look kind of like a person, like
No.
sitting there, like being weird. Because,
No,
like
it
I
was
said,
built weird.
people do be weird. But as soon as it started standing up,
No.
and its arms and legs looked like thin and long, like abnormally long, right?
My brain is refusing to accept this.
That it's real?
Yes.
That you think someone made that up? How would they do that?
No. I'm not saying that the person made this up.
Oh, it
I'm
just
not
didn't
saying
happen.
that Dom is wrong. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying what you just showed me. No.
Okay.
No, because
I mean, I understand.
Because if this is 100% real and true, I can't go on.
Okay.
I can't go on.
See, like without the videos and pictures, we've talked about this before, but without the videos and pictures, we can kind of have this layer
Yes.
of like, there's still the fourth wall, and like,
Yes.
maybe it is, maybe it isn't. There's still that doubt we can sow in ourselves to help us sleep at night. But when you have proof, when you have evidence, it's really hard to tell yourself it can't be,
The video was made a little bit more real to me when they took off running.
Yeah.
And I saw the people, and it looked like, oh yeah, they're really running to a vehicle
They
of
were
some sort.
scared.
I don't know what to do now. I don't know where we go from here.
When I first watched that video, I got a tear in my eye. I'm not even joking.
I'm just in shock right now.
Just because, I've seen pictures online. I've seen
Yeah.
pictures, but those could be doctored. There are like creepypasta type pictures all over the place all of the time.
Yes.
But that video, something about that video just did not sit well with me.
It wasn't moving at first. Like, okay, it was, maybe they don't see me or something. But then once they started to really shine light, it's like, all right, y'all made me do it. And then it like decided it was their time. Like,
Yeah. It came after. It moved kind of fast too.
it was
Yeah.
so long.
Well, thank you, Dom, for sending that in, and we'll definitely be following you on TikTok to see more. 'Cause
That's sick.
that was sickening, dude. We have one more story, and it's from Macie.
Oh.
Hello, fellow Macie. Hi, ladies. My name is Macie. I have been listening to the pod for over a year and could never find the right time to send in a story until you said send in crawler stories, and I have a good one. This happened in 2021 during summer. I live in Maine, surrounded by woods kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Wait, this happened the same summer as that 911 call.
It did.
Summer of 2021.
Yeah.
June 2021. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I think the other one was July.
Oh, whatever. Same. Summer 2021.
Yeah. I didn't think
Something
about
was
that.
in the air.
They were all coming out.
Or below.
They spent the last summer saying, hey, not a lot of people are out this summer. What's
Like,
going
let's
on?
just show up. Yeah. Oh my
The next summer,
gosh.
they're out in full force. There are a lot of ATV trails near me, so I like to go for rides on my four-wheeler with friends. One night, I was riding with one of my friends on the trails around 9 p.m. It was dark. We didn't want to scare ourselves, so we weren't looking into the woods. As we were riding, there was a big bog on one side of the trail and the woods on the other. We both got this feeling, as if we were being forced to turn our heads to look into the woods, and not even 5 feet away from us was a tall, humanoid creature, probably 8 to 9 feet tall. It was crouched down right beside the trail. This thing was very skinny, had long arms, legs, and fingers. It was white, and its face only had dark eye sockets. If this creature wanted to reach out and grab one of us, it could have.
Oh no.
It all felt like it happened in slow motion. I was going about 20 miles per hour, and it seemed as if we were barely moving. After we both saw this, my friend asked me if I saw it too. We were both crying and freaking out at this point, and I was able to get off the trail shortly after. We took the main road back to my place. It was absolutely terrifying. I will never ride again at night on those trails. My second story, I'm not really sure if it's a coincidence or not, but 2 weeks before seeing this awful creature, me and the same friend were at her house in her Gram's car listening to music. It was late, and I was ready to head home. My friend went inside to get her Gram to bring me home, leaving me alone in the car. Through the closed doors and windows, I heard the loudest, ha, 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 as if someone was screaming through a megaphone into my ears. My friend heard the same thing as she was walking inside. I obviously jumped out of the car and started running for my life. My friend thought I was possessed. No one inside heard the laughing, not even the dogs that were very reactive to sound. I'm not sure if this was the crawler that did this or not. What do you guys think about my experiences?
I don't want to think about your experiences. That's my answer.
I think you're lucky to have
Oh
escaped because
my gosh.
you were so close to it.
That is so scary. That is so scary. I'm deeply unsettled.
There are some times when we end an episode where we just kind of sit in silence. You ever leave a movie theater after a really scary movie or a really
Undertone.
gut-wrenching movie?
Undertone.
Yes, and everything is just completely silent.
Hereditary.
Yeah.
And then the one person goes, what the? And then everybody
Yeah.
starts laughing and like breaks the awkward silence. Yeah.
Sometimes after we end these episodes, I feel that way. And Natalie and I will sometimes, no joke, sit here for like 10 seconds just staring off into space like, what have we just experienced?
That's I was literally battling that after you showed me that video because I'm trying really hard to grapple with
Stay
this
here.
devastation that you've just created.
Yeah.
So yeah. This is one of those ones.
It's one of those for me too. And it's not like that for me very often.
No. Not since we've like done more and more and more. I feel like
Yeah.
I've gotten braver. Like I'm not as scared, but like lately, y'all have been getting me.
Being in Appalachia or just in the woods and in general,
Yeah, the woods.
okay.
It's really scary to the point where like I haven't been to our mom's like house. Like I haven't been
Uh-huh.
home in a while. If I go home,
Not at night.
I'm not. No.
Luckily, no caves nearby though
That we know of.
that we know of.
I don't know, man.
Well, let us know in the comments if you have seen a crawler, what you think it is. Do you think it's interdimensional? Do you think it's an evolved animal of some kind or maybe a evolved human of some kind? I truly don't know.
I don't know.
I want to go more animal, like cryptid,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe seeing The Descent has just
I was gonna say,
skewed
yeah.
my way of thinking.
Same.
But it creeps me, and It creeps me.
It
It
creeps
creeps
you.
me out. And it creeps me out even more thinking about the disappearances and
Mhm.
the cave systems. Since you told me that, what was it, like a year or two ago now?
Was it?
It was a
I
long
feel like
time
it was
ago.
recent that I told you about this.
No, you told me about this a long time ago.
Yeah, sorry I ruined your world.
Yeah, I think about it often.
It's really scary.
Every time I hear the word cave, I'm like,
or like national parks or anything like that, like I'm not going there.
yeah.
It's really scary. They're beautiful, but I won't be caught slipping.
There's some spooky stuff out there, guys.
Yeah.
So send in your stories if you have one. You can email us at ghostiespod@gmail.com.
Low key, I don't want Appalachia April to end though. We're
I
like nearing the end and I'm kind of
know.
sad. It felt like it went by fast.
We only have one more listener story.
That's not fair. I'm kind of having fun.
I'm having a lot of fun.
Appalachia May. Appalachia May.
That would be fun.
No. We can't.
We'll see. Like this video if you liked it. Share it with your friends if you feel compelled to do so. And subscribe for more. As we said, we've got another Listener Stories episode of Appalachia Tales. It's a good one. We're ending on a good one. They're all good. What am I even saying? And then we have one more research episode based on a being known to inhabit Appalachia. An ancient
Okay.
being.
Good. Great.
Patreon picked it. So if you'd like to join in on Patreon and pick our next episodes, you can do that as well. It's patreon.com/ghosties. Other than that, we will see you on Friday.
Goodbye.